Hi, I'm Rachel O'Sullivan from Barfoot and Thompson. Thank you so much for joining another Pathway to Property interview. Today we have Emily Takani from our Waiuku office joining us. Hey Emily.
Hello. Kia ora.
Kia ora. Lovely. Now overachiever much. So you started a career in hospitality, you made cupcakes, then you had and raised 2 children whilst you got into the real estate industry. So first of all, tell me, how did that transition take place? You're icing some cupcakes and you think, oh, I want to be a real estate salesperson. How did that work?
No.
Okay.
Well, to be honest, it was my then partner, now husband,
Nice.
who was like, oh, I think you'd be really good at real estate. You like talking to people, which I do.
Lovely.
And that's sort of how it transpired. I've always been interested in property.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily real estate at that point, sort of just always loved looking at homes and different
you're
properties.
an open home scroller.
Yes, love looking at at different homes on the market or around the country. So that did pique my interest a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I guess it was something that I felt like I could, have those flexible hours potentially.
Yeah.
So at that stage, I had a 3-year-old son. So that kind of intrigued me. What was it all about? How did it work? I knew that, they worked weekends, but I'm like, well, what else do they do? So it was just, I guess, sparked from an interest in property.
Nice.
And then, that love of just talking to people, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you're also training for a marathon at the moment.
I've just done it.
Oh, you've done it? Oh, congratulations.
It was a half. So.
It's good as a whole. So because you talked about flexibility, it's not a low-hour job, but it's an opportunity. If you do, I assume, the kids, training, you can work that around the career. Has that sort of worked as well?
Yep. That's one of the aspects that I really love about real estate. So, no, it's definitely not a low-hour job. You are, in a lot of respects, always working, unless you literally physically remove yourself. But it does work quite well, I think, with a family. But you have to set your own boundaries. So that's definitely something that I've learned over time. Of course, when you first start, you say yes to everything, and then you realise that your body actually doesn't allow you to do that for very long. So you will learn that as time goes on. But, it means that if I need to, nip out and get one of my kids because they're sick, I can. I have that flexibility to shuffle my day around myself and make it work. It's not always easy. In fact, it's pretty challenging most days. I'd rather call it a job, not a hobby. But, there is that flexibility there. I don't necessarily have to call my boss and ask the question. It's just being mindful that this is my own business, and there are potential consequences too, to that flexibility. But it works both ways. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, in terms of sort of technical transferable skills, what is it you think you learned from hospitality, from working in retail, that you've brought into this role? You chat to people, you love property, but there's some sort of more, harder skills that you've brought over. What do you think people can think, oh yeah, I do that, so I can do this?
Yep. I guess just working in service industry is probably a big one. So it's just having that ability to look for the challenges. I guess in real estate we're looking for the challenges that our clients have at that point in time in their life, and then trying to find solutions while providing a service that they're happy to essentially pay for. Just being mindful that this is a service, so we have to go to some extent above and beyond for the clients, and I guess just having a good work ethic as well. So I did start my working life fairly young. I think I was around sort of 14 when I first got, a little job on the side. And it's just that ability to do things, I think, that potentially other people may not do,
Mm-hmm.
at least initially, to show, you know, your boss or your manager or whoever it is that you're working for at the time, that you have really good work ethic.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, the work ethic piece, the service concept, and just that, you know, you mentioned before about delivering for people, you know, fixing the solution. What's the solution? I love that.
Yeah.
Because that's what it is, right?
That's
You're
a
just,
huge part of this job.
yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. We're providing a solution to their challenge or problem. Yeah.
Nice. I like that. And so if we've got someone watching who's thinking, oh, should I, shouldn't I, what do I do? What would be sort of the one piece of advice that you'd say do before, you know, we've got the Barfoot and Thompson certificate coming up, so you can learn to be the salesperson. What's the one thing they should know before they do that?
Oh gosh. It is quite a diverse role, so you know, but I think that means that in a lot of ways anyone can do it.
Yep.
What I would say is you do have to care. So you have to have, you know, that caring sense for other people. I think if you don't care about what you're doing, whether it's real estate or anything else, that you know, the client can tell, and you know, you may not get the business. So you do have to actually care about what you're doing, and ultimately in real estate about other people's lives.
Yeah.
Because I think that comes into it quite a lot.
Absolutely. And it comes back to that service piece. You know, they're paying for a service, and you've got to care a little bit about what their solution will be.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, so it all loops round and ties in. Emily's just another one of our successful agents here at Barfoot and Thompson. So if you'd like to be a salesperson, come on in and see us.